This week on TQA Weekly, we talk about the Do Not Track header. What is it? How do you use it? And why you should actually activate it. This is TQA Weekly. I'm the host, Steve Smith, aka Z Axis. If ever you have any technology questions, comments, suggestions, and/or PC horror stories, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com. Go to my website, tqaweekly.com, and use the contact form, or you can always use the comments box on this page if you are watching on any of the many websites like YouTube, Blip.tv, Miro Community, or any other that I post to every single week. And before we get into anything, I would like you to know that this episode of TQA Weekly is brought to you by ProXPN. ProXPN is a virtual private network that allows you to use the internet the way it should be, anonymously and without oversight. For 20% off your account, go to proxpn.com/podcast and use the coupon code TQAWEE. So let's get into the topic at hand, the Do Not Track header. And for those that actually interested in show notes, go to tqaweekly.com/SE3EP42 for the show notes. So first, the Do Not Track header is a new way of telling websites you do not wish to be tracked, intended for third-party advertisers who use a multitude of databases of collected information on you and your browsing patterns to target you with advertisements that fit your relative profile. While these advertisements are actually, for the most part, related to your points of interest, it can be creepy and unsettling for anyone that can be the target of any of these such precisely personalized advertisements. It may also make you feel like your right to privacy is being ignored when companies track, record, and sell your personal information without any gain for you. The Do Not Track header is the only variable that is actually intended for this, represented by either a 0 or 1. In fact, it's only a variable. It doesn't do very much. It's completely passive. Do Not Track is considered on when the header is actually equal to 1. The Do Not Track header is also not legally binding or currently enforceable. As this remains a variable, there's also very little chance of confirming a website's awareness or usage of this without actually viewing the code that would be available. However, getting a company to show you the code that makes a site run is basically virtually impossible, since you're more likely to get applications, not websites, that are actually open source. The Do Not Track header is not on by default. In fact, even if a browser were to turn on by default, the advertisement companies using browser fingerprinting would simply ignore that series of browsers, even for those that actually truly wished to have the functionality of this, so they would end up having to change browser altogether. The Do Not Track header is nowhere near as effective as blocking all cookies and using anonymizers, using a different IP address, like through routing through a VPN, and changing or nulling out all browser headers coming from your browser. In fact, even with cookies completely blocked, browser fingerprinting can be used to identify your computer. The Do Not Track header, being a variable, is probably not programmed into every single website yet, and for this, even when turned on for websites that can be ignorant or unaware of this header, it has virtually no functionality whatsoever. Now, with that pointed out, here are 3 questions I get asked often with the answers on how to deal with the Do Not Track headers and tracking in general. So first, when I block third-party cookies, does it block all other websites other than the one I am on? No. However, only websites you have visited before, let's say like Facebook, Twitter, Google, where you have a cookie or you're logged in or something, only those websites will actually function on other websites you're currently visiting from a third-party pretext. All other websites you have never gone to or denied the right from the browser to write a cookie to your browser. However, like I stated before, browser fingerprinting is actually pretty accurate, so they can use that instead. And that information, unless you are nulling it, is available to anybody's website asking for it. Your browser just gives it away. Should I turn on do not track headers? Yes, even if very few websites are unaware of what this variable is, even though very few people actually program this into their websites, you should turn it on, because if this header is not used, it will be forgotten and it will never be programmed for. So if you want it to be used, if you want companies to start abiding it, you have to use it. If you're interested in not being tracked, turn it on. For the meantime, you're going to have to use third-party cookie blockers and all that kind of stuff, or turn off JavaScript, things like that. But for now, turn that on so at least these websites know you're interested in that. And the last one, and the one I think is the most ridiculous possible question, because it's virtually impossible: how do I become completely anonymous online? Extremely complicated, impossible. Even if you're going to pretend you can possibly be anonymous on the internet, it can't happen. No amount of good wizardry, programming, hacking skills will make you invisible on the internet. So let's say it was possible, which is very much impossible. You would have to change your IP address, route your traffic through one or more VPNs. Most of them have logs. Even though they don't keep logs necessarily for that long, they do have logs. Block all cookies, remove all cookies in your computer, notify all requests and browser headers from your computer to also prevent browser fingerprinting, even though this can actually make you stick out like a sore thumb. And of course, all of this is a complete waste of time if you log in anywhere acknowledging who you are. So next week, I'll actually be demonstrating and explaining how to do an image search, since this is also a very popular question on Reddit when dealing with actual images. When people ask things like, who is that person, or what is that? I'm going to teach you how to actually use an image search so you don't have to ask anybody anymore who that was or what was that. You'll have the skills for yourself, so you'll be able to do it by yourself. Now more than ever, your online freedom and privacy are under threat. Governments and ISPs want to control what you can or cannot see, while keeping a detailed record of everything you do. Plus, that free Wi-Fi at the coffee house or airport terminal is putting you seriously at risk, because your passwords and sensitive data can be and probably are being intercepted more easily than you might think. If you're tired of being tracked by the governments, whether it be the French, the UK, even the US of A, if you're tired of having all your communications intercepted, all your emails being read, and you're not even interested in wondering what's going to happen in that country you are visiting soon, ProXPN is for you. ProXPN is a global VPN that works with almost any internet connection. It creates a secure, encrypted tunnel through which all your online data passes back and forth. Any online application can work with ProXPN, including your web browser, email, file sharing, and instant messaging programs. ProXPN keeps everything you do online hidden from prying eyes, disguising your physical location, and giving you unfettered access to any website or online service, no matter where you live or, more important, travel to. Complete online privacy with a 2048 bit encryption key and a 512-bit encryption tunnel. Works with OpenVPN or PPTP. Those are usually for cell phones. You get to choose. Protects you against this ISP 6 strikes rule or any other similar rule in any other country in the world. Bypasses internet filtering, blocked websites, geographical restrictions for internet content, and online video with worldwide servers in the US of A, UK, Asia, and more. ProXPN software for Windows and Mac offers advanced controls, allowing you to select programs and ports you wish to anonymously route specific programs through ProXPN servers. ProXPN also works with your iOS, Android, Windows mobile phone, and BlackBerry device using the PPTP protocol on those phones without any app being required on them, or you can always use an OpenVPN client on them, and also offers a 24/7 customer support. So go to proxpn.com/podcast for more information and to sign up, and remember my show when you're signing up, because TQA Weekly watchers and listeners also get a free 30-day risk-free trial. Remember to visit proxpm.com/podcast. Use a coupon code TQAWEE. ProXPM premium accounts are normally $9.95 a month or $74.95 for the entire year. We've got a special offer just for you. Using the coupon code TQAWEE gives you 20% off the entire lifetime price of your account, whether it's a month or a year for the rest of time. You'll always have 20% off using the coupon code TQAWEE. Remember to like this episode if you're interested in today's topic, share if you think someone else could benefit from this, and subscribe if you wish to learn more. Stay safe and online, and have a great day. Thank you for listening to TQA Weekly. Show your support by liking this episode, subscribe to get our latest episodes as they come out, and share with friends and family who may benefit from such a show as this. You may send us your questions, comments, suggestions, and or stories to ask at tqaweekly.com. For our show notes, links to our Android application, alternate means of subscribing to our show, and information on joining our weekly newsletter, head over to tqaweekly.com. Stay safe and online, and have a great day.